2, 1, 0. Let's go. Welcome to the show. I hope you guys enjoy this show. Here are 5 things that I've been thinking about since this whole Russian-Ukraine crisis has started. And this is why I didn't do a podcast yesterday, because I was watching in shock and awe of what is actually happening in Ukraine. This is insane. I hope you enjoyed the show. But let's get into it. Welcome to the revolution. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. If you want to support me, go to buymeacoffee.com/Derek O'Shea Show. Link is in the description below. It helps pay for all this crap. I hope you guys have been having a freaking fantastic day. But here are 5 things that I've been thinking about since the beginning of this whole crisis that's unfolding before our eyes. And I'm saving the best for last. The first one right out of the gate is I just want to give a special shout out to our Russian protesters who, imagine being in Russia and having a person like Putin in power, you know, KGB, no big deal, as he gets rid of his opposition so quietly. Oh, you got a little poison attack? Whatever. But number one, I just want to give a special shout out to our Russian brother and sister. And here's a clip of me doing a live stream. If you're not watching me on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, or Rumble, I've been going live watching this whole thing go down daily. So follow me on one of those sources and watch me live. Come hang out with me, get in the chat and all that stuff. But here's me watching. I feel like I'm entering an altered universe. Here's me watching a Russian protester. That's what balls look like. You gonna protest in Russia over this war? You have balls of steel. And I agree with him. Man, is he good looking. But anyways, I am an idiot. Anyways, imagine protesting in Russia, the kind of gall it takes to be able to stand up to your government who is taking over a totally innocent country in the mix. I could not believe my eyes. Next, number 2, Russian army and how they are getting the guns to the people. Well, let's start out with this. Number 1 is this Robbie Starbuck. He explains what I've been thinking so delicately. One thing I respect immensely about the Ukrainians is how their politicians are taking up arms to defend the nation they love. Very few of our most well-known elected leaders in America would do the same. That's a problem. We need to elect people who love our country that much, and I completely agree with this sentiment. Our politicians are so quick to go to war, are so quick to defend freedom, whatever that means to them. They won't defend freedom. They won't put their bodies on the line. I imagine a president that says, I'm willing to go to war and I'm going to be on the front lines. That is an America I want to be a part of. That is a leader I want to follow. Right now we have Zelensky saying Zelensky appears to take a shot at Biden. The most powerful forces in the world are watching from afar, and that's exactly what's going on. Is he just recently put out a new video of him saying, I haven't left Kyiv. I'm here in Kyiv right now, and here's the time, here's everything like now. But, you know, our president would be hiding in a bunker somewhere, and so it's empowering to watch the Ukrainian people right now. Some little jokey though. Russia will not be participating in the Eurovision Song Contest in 2022. Sad day for us all. But as we continue, our number 2 of the Ukrainian Armory, the 1,800 assault rifles, which 10,000 were distributed the other day, but 18,000 today, right now, to citizens in Kyiv to defend against Russian invasion. And what I've said before is it's amazing how so many people like liberals right now are putting up about assault weapons and right to bear arms and stuff like that. And they're like, this is the reason why people want to bear arms, to protect themselves. And I know you might push back. You might be a liberal saying, well, why do you need to get, this is why the government will distribute it. But the government is distributing these guns to a bunch of citizens who have probably never fired in their life. I've seen video of protesters saying, I've never fired a weapon before, but I'm willing to try. I'm willing to give it a go. Wouldn't you rather have a well-armed citizenship, a militia of people that know how to use their weapons so they don't have, shoot their own people, for one? Also, do you really expect the government to give you weapons in time for you to protect you and your family in a situation like this? Absolutely freaking not. The fact that they're distributing it today and not like 4 or 5 days ago is the problem alone. And this is Ukraine. Imagine America. Imagine the DMV going out and distributing 18,000 assault rifles to every citizen. This is just like, number please, next number. Would never happen. But of course, and number 3 on the list is how our politicians are handling this mess. It is the biggest joke in the world. Even our biggest politicians that are coming out and saying things like, if you don't want war, or you're all of a sudden supporting Putin, you're supporting the Russian forces, you're basically a neo-Nazi. I've seen all kinds of stupid comments about what's going on. It's like, if you don't want to go fight war, that means that automatically you're supporting Putin, which is just the stupidest thing in the world. But anyways, Joe Biden is putting forth a new SCOTUS because, never let a good crisis go to waste. It's the perfect time to push a new SCOTUS, a new Supreme Court nominee. Right now, right, Biden? As there are rumors going around that Putin is not going to stop with Ukraine. He's going into Poland. Now's the time to put forth a SCOTUS. Of course, it shows where his mind's at. And then Hillary Clinton comes out and repeatedly suggests Republicans enabling Putin aggression during MSNBC. What a joke. Nobody remembers Obama and Crimea as well. It baffles me, some of the things that people believe and people just can get away with saying. Number 4 on the list is this. Biden and his gas prices. As I watched the press conference yesterday, and he says, this is an important matter to me. I'm doing everything in my power to lower the gas prices and ease up on Americans because I care about you. I have empathy towards you, which is the biggest joke in the whole world. He's lying to you to your face. And I'm getting so sick of it. I'm sick of people backing him. I'm sick of people not calling him out. Look, if Trump was doing the same thing, I would be doing the same thing. I'd be losing my mind. I don't care who's in office. I care about you and me thriving and living well. As you have all these politicians and people coming out and saying, like, if I have to pay more at the gas pump, then that's my way of supporting Ukraine. This is like the stupidest, idiotic thing to say. We could be energy independent. We really could. And that would be the best way to fight back against Russia. The best way to fight back against Russia is to be completely energy independent and not have to rely on them for anything. But instead, we want everyone else to do our dirty work for us. I constantly say this on our podcast, and it's probably annoying to hear me say over and over again, is we are a country that's obsessed with other people doing the dirty work for us so that we can have our clean, green energy, and we can pretend like we're all a social elitists, that we can just afford all this crap. But not all of us can, but our politicians can, and they don't understand why you can't be like them. Why don't you just go buy your electric car? Can't you afford it, you freaking broke person? Not all of us live like you. Not all of us have become multimillionaires through a life in politics. Right, Biden? Like so many of our politicians that somehow go into office and come out multimillionaires. How does that work when you get paid jack crap? Why would somebody want to take an office when they get paid that little compared to somebody like Tony Fauci? Because then they become out multimillionaires because they're corrupt individuals themselves. But yeah, they're good people. You can go get an ice cream cone with Biden if you want. No big deal, bro. Biden halts oil, gas leases. Our gas leases, we'll stop our gas leases, we'll stop the pipeline and stuff like that. But yeah, he's doing everything in his power. Listen to this delicious interview at Squawk Box this morning. Senator Judd Gregg just gets it. But let's listen to this incredible conversation. This should make you feel good on the inside. There's at least somebody on the corporate press that's speaking up for people like you and me. Let's listen.
Here, yeah, it is because there's a law. What's the social cost of capital,
BlackRock is not
Andrew?
Doing this because a new law has been created.
Yeah, they are. Here's the Wall Street Journal today. The Wall Street Journal. The social cost of carbon. The Biden administration wants it to go to $51 per ton. It was previously $7. Here's A2 in the Wall Street Journal. Every lease that you're going to get for new drilling now has to take into account what is that, 6-7 times the amount of social cost of carbon. It's Keystone. It's one thing after another. What do you mean it's not coming from the Biden administration? There's regulation layered over regulation layered over regulation that have caused this. That's total crap.
I do think the ESG movement.
It has.
You think Larry Fink has been writing these
letters? The fire engine number one went after ExxonMobil and had BlackRock
for a decade?
Right, and had BlackRock to back it up.
Larry Fink is writing these letters for a decade because he's being instructed by the government to do this?
It's a free market, Judd.
No, the problem is the market is being perverted by government policy, just as Joe said so eloquently a second ago. The simple fact is you cannot have a market where you've got industrial policy determining that you use one of your major sources.
It's both.
And remember, you got to remember something else here. And you've been writing this.
Little something to do with this.
This is a three-element dance. There are three people in this dance. There's the United States, there's Russia, and there's China. And China is probably more important to us in this confrontation than Russia. Russia's a third world country with a first world military, but China is a 1.4 billion people being run by an autocracy. And where China goes in this whole element of what's happening with Russia invading Ukraine is a critical issue. And sanctions never control the actions of dictators. It didn't in Cuba, it didn't in Venezuela, it didn't in Iran, it's not going to in Russia. What will control their actions is to fundamentally undermine their economy. And the way you do that is for us to produce so much gas and oil that we are able to replace Russia as a force in this world.
It's like he listens to this show. I'm going to hear that one more time because sometimes when I hear things, I want to just say,
I'll have what she's having.
Exactly. Here, one more time. Listen to this. Put this in your heart and lungs, your mind, your body, your soul.
Is for us to produce so much of their actions is to fundamentally undermine their economy. And the way you do that is for us to produce so much gas and oil that we are able to replace Russia as a force in this world for economic energy production.
I know you said you don't know what John Kerry said. Well, here.
And that's how you do it. It's so obvious. Why is something so simple so hard for so many people to understand? So much of our politicians and what's going on, we don't work in a free market capitalist system. Places are constantly bailed out. There's constantly regulation to not allow businesses just to be themselves. Imagine if we just completely deregulated everything and allowed people just to live, and then people got to choose what to spend and how to spend their money. And imagine what the kind of economy we live in. You might say it might be harsh, or it could be the most amazing thing in the world. I'd like to believe that you and I aren't stupid where we would actually put our money where places where we want to put our money. And I would also like to believe that we would be a lot farther along in green energy, #nuclear sources for things. And we would live a lot cheaper. And there go, you and I could live a higher quality of life. Instead, our government decides to just constantly put regulations and bound and then lie to the American people to their face. And I'm getting so tired of it. I wish they were really honest. I wish Biden would come out and say, you know what? I'm not going to do oil leases. I'm not going to do the pipeline because I want us to move to a green energy and it's going to cost more and you're going to just deal with it. I wish they would just tell the freaking truth, because then people would go, okay, maybe I don't want that. Especially some of the people that don't take time like you and me to just engage in politics. The people that are like, I don't listen to the news because it gives me too much anxiety. I'd rather just put my head in a hole and just block out the whole world. Number 5, I was completely wrong about Russia. I was wrong. I was completely wrong. I didn't think they would invade. I didn't think they would want to have body bags going back to their families. I didn't think Putin would be like that. I didn't think Putin would feel that emboldened to take on Ukraine. I just didn't. And I was wrong about that, and I apologize for that. And I think there needs to be more podcasts. I'm not going to speak for other people. I think the thing I've learned a lot is never be above reproach, where you can just you're never wrong. I don't like these people, these debate bros, these people who are just like, I have a position and I'm going to hold it for the rest of my life, even if I go down in a blazing hellfire. Don't be like these people. Be okay to be proven wrong. Be okay to say I was wrong. Because I think, especially in relationships, the minute you say, you know what, I was wrong and I can do better. I was wrong. Will you please forgive me? That's when reconciliation takes place. Don't be one of these people who, when you're wrong about something, keep just fighting it. Because I don't want to look weak. I don't want people to know that I don't know something. Because then people can mock me. Who cares? Who cares if people mock you? The people that love you will forgive you and move on. The people that don't love you, that never loved you in the first place, will continue to mock you, continue to make memes about you, whatever. But be okay with saying I was wrong. And that's kind of my thought for today, is that be okay with being wrong. Be okay with being proven wrong. Be okay with not knowing everything. Be okay with not pretending like you know everything. I've seen these like weird TikToks going around and people are like, oh, you were a virologist last year, but this year you're war experts. No, some of us just know how to read. And some of us like engaging in conversation and not walking around pretending like we don't know anything as well, but have that. Engage in content. Read. Know things of what's going on in the world so that you can engage with others and be more knowledgeable. But also rely on the fact that you are a human and you're infallible. And maybe you didn't read it correctly. Or maybe you just aren't smart enough to figure out what's going on. Because that's like 90% of me. And be okay with saying you're not smart enough. I'm so tired of these people walking around thinking like they are God's gift to green earth. Like they know everything of what's going on. I hope you listen to my podcast, because I'm not the person that's going to tell you that I know everything, but I'm going to engage in culture as much as I possibly can. And I put a lot of work into this show to the point where I hope you learn something, but I hope you become a better person through knowing something of what's going on in the world. I don't want my podcast just to be a total fringe podcast where it just makes you feel like the world's going to end tomorrow. And if you don't get your family in the bunker right now, you're going to die. I think that's just not the way to be. I don't think that's a podcast that is helpful for anyone. I think there is always hope in the world, no matter freaking what. And I think because of social media, we can call these people out. Because we know what's going on in the world. We see what's going on in the world, and we can hold these people accountable. So when Biden says, I'm doing everything I possibly can to lower gas prices, and you know it's a freaking lie, you can just call it out. But somehow he gets a pass. I wish our journalists were actually journalists and didn't care and cared less about the pillars in the world and more about the truth. I hope you guys have a freaking fantastic rest of your day. And I appreciate you so much for joining my show. Again, if you want to support my show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/DeRicochet. The link is in the description below. It helps me out. It helps prove my family and friends this is a real podcast. And, yeah. Just have a great day. This world is crazy. Our politicians are in so much control of our lives. And so figure out a way to find joy in your life. Figure out a way to. And I think finding joy in that last thought I said about being okay to be proven wrong, there's so much joy in being humble. There's so much strength in being humble. There's so much strength in saying, I don't know, or maybe I don't have it all together and I need help. There's a lot of power. There's a lot of strength in that. And I think that is how I want to continue to be and continue to live. There's times in my life where I feel insecure and I want to fight back and just put myself out there of things that maybe I don't know too much about. And I just know that in those moments, I regret it. So don't be like me in those moments. Constantly strive for saying, I don't know, or humbling yourself and learning to grow and saying, maybe I don't have everything, but here's what I think. And I think we as Americans would grow closer together. The more of us just said, I'm going to do better. And I don't have everything together. And I hope that makes you feel more human. I hope it makes you feel closer to me because we're the same. Have a great day. I'll see you on the next episode of the Derek O'Shea Show. Oh, come hang out with me live on YouTube. Subscribe live on YouTube. Follow me on Rumble for the backup. Because God knows I won't last long there. Well, we'll see. They seem to me not as aggressive with Trump not in power. Well, but we'll see. Have a great day. I'll catch you on the next episode of the Derek O'Shea Show.